That pumps me up, baby. That gets me ready to go, Trey. Guys, welcome back to the Bears Common Plays live show here on our YouTube channel. We are back, and we've got a bracket to make, Trey. We're going to pull up the bracket here. Reminder, everybody in the chat, we are going to go game by game here, region by region. But if Trey and I decide to split on a game, so let's say I take FAU game one, he likes Northwestern, the chat is going to decide who advances. So make sure, as we go game by game, that you guys are putting who you like game by game. Trey, we're going to get right into it. We're starting in the East region with the number one team in the country, the UConn Huskies, going up against Stetson. Sorry. You like Stetson here, is that correct?
I was thinking hard and long about which 16 seed would do the upset, and I don't think it's going to be this one. Give me UConn here by a wide margin for sure.
Okay, well, we're gonna need a decider here. No, I'm just kidding. UConn shoots nearly 50% from the field. They allow 65 points or less on the season. This is going to be an absolute route ski. Give me UConn here. We are going to take UConn as the first play. I think that's a good pick. From us. Let's go to the 8-9 matchup now between FAU and Northwestern. FAU's had an up and down year. Northwestern's coming in a little bit injured. Nicholson is not going to be playing this game, the big man center. Who do you like in this one?
Now, I do think this is going to be a very entertaining game. FAU came into this season with some lofty expectations, and rightfully so. They returned nearly everybody from their magical season of last year. And it wasn't just a March Madness run. They were dominant in the regular season last year as well. And they did take a step up in the American Conference this year. So it was kind of expected for them to take a step back. But I think that conference kind of made them battle-tested for this March Madness a little bit more. I'm going to take FAU here in this game.
Okay. All right. We're going to split right away then. I'm going to take Northwestern. I do think FAU's the better team, but Northwestern's Big Ten battle-tested, and FAU, they don't play a ton of teams in the American Conference. They also struggle on the defensive side. Northwestern's pretty good defensively. They got the best player on the floor in Boo Buie. I'm going to take Northwestern here, so that means the chat has to decide. I haven't seen anybody comment. We got 20 people in here. Drop right now in the comment section who you guys think is going to advance, FAU or Northwestern, and we will come back to that game. Trey, let's go on to the next.
Say Vladislav Golden.
Vladislav Golden.
I know, right? And you're fading that guy.
Russia.
And you're fading
Nicholson is also out. Let me make sure. Let's double check. I heard that the other day. Let's double check.
Now, I do know Boo Buie is an absolute stud, but you can't turn down John L. Davis either. Nicholson has a massive forehead, just like me.
Nicholson is out until late March, is what it says. That doesn't give me much. Is the 21st late March?
No.
No?
I don't think so. And I think if he would be playing, it would put a Q tag next to him.
Okay. All right. I'm still going to take Northwestern. So,
all right. We'll come back to it. All right. And Rob, make sure to drop down who you think will win this game. You might be the deciding factor, Rob, if you drop it down real quick. We'll stay on this game for another 10 seconds before we advance. So, guys, make sure to drop down who you think will win. And then tiebreakers like this, we will take your vote. So you can be a third member on the show for tonight.
I think the people would take Northwestern, Trey. I'm not going to lie.
All right, we can go to the next game and come back to it once I drop the comment in. It's going to be this San Diego versus UAB game.
All right, let's move on. SDSU going up against UAB. UAB, the Cinderella story. San Diego State's been there, done that. They made the Final Four run last year. I would love to take UAB, but I hate them so much. I'm going to take San Diego State. What do you like?
Yeah, I agree. Defense is going to be the reason why San Diego State wins this game. UAB, they're not really inspiring to me. At 12 seeds, probably a little bit generous for how their season went. And I don't think that San Diego State's just going to lie down and let UAB walk all over them here in this game. They went on a magical run last season, just like the team I just picked in FAU. So I'm going to go with the veterans here. Give me San Diego State. So we're both on the same side on that game at the very least.
All right, and then we're moving on Northwestern. Rob says, give me Northwestern. All right, Northwestern's going to move on. All right, let's move on to Auburn against Yale. Yale, bunch of frauds in this game. This should be Brown's spot against Auburn. Brown, they couldn't make a free throw at the end of the game. I felt bad for them, too. I mean, they were like a 13-17 team on the season. They already beat Yale at Yale, and they got their hearts broken in this one. I'm taking Auburn to win this one big. What do you like?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with Auburn here. Bruce Pearl was crying, talking about his dad and being his biggest supporter. So I think Auburn's going to be a sleeper team. You better watch out for them. And I love them to absolutely trounce Yale here.
Yeah, we're going to move on to your favorite team, the 6 versus 11 seed, BYU here, going up against Duquesne. News today that dropped, Duquesne's head coach is retiring after this season. Maybe he gives the boys a little bit of buzz coming into this game, Trey. They play really good defense, not great on the offensive side. Let me tell you something. I thought Virginia was bad on offense. Duquesne gave them a run for their money in that ACC title game, or AC title game, because good God, they went 2 of 24 from the field in the second half. I think I'll take BYU. I can't take Duquesne. I can't do it. I'll take BYU just for you. Just for you.
Thank you. And I'm going with BYU here. Obviously, I hate that I just heard that news about Duquesne's coach retiring, because that's going to at least give them a little bump. And then you don't want to fight any bumps of momentum when you're talking about March Madness. So that kind of worries me. But BYU, they're an elite level offensive team. They're a pretty good defensive team. And I expect them to make a late run in March. I hate that they're a 6th seed, but kind of like it. A lot of people will be overlooking them. So I love BYU here.
All right, let's move on. Illinois, the 3 seed, going up against 14 seed Morehead State. Morehead State wasn't great early, but they are feeling themselves right now coming into the tournament. I'm going to have you start here.
God, this is tough, because if you guys have watched our channel throughout the year, you've known that I have backed Morehead State at least 3 times this year, and each time they have cashed for me as big favorites, because they were absolutely dominating their conference schedule, and they have the right to be here. They earned it through the regular season and their conference tournament. Now, they got a very tough draw against Illinois, and me and Bear, we both like Illinois. We definitely like Terrence Shannon, maybe more of the player than the person, and Marcus Domask is a pretty good Robin as well. It's very tough. I don't want to just go all favorites here, but I do feel like it's going to be Illinois. There's not going to be anyone to stop Terrence Shannon, so give me Illinois here, begrudgingly.
Yeah, let's not mess around. Illinois is a better team. I think they win this one by double digits. Morehead State, though, good story, good team. They're on a hot streak right now, but Illinois, I mean, they won the Big Ten for a reason. They're a wagon. So let's take Illinois, and let's move on to an actual good matchup here between Washington State, the 7-10, Washington State going up against Drake. This is a defense versus offense kind of game. Washington State, very good defensively. Drake, very good offensively with Tucker DeVries. What do you like here?
Yeah, nobody wanted to be matched up against Drake, especially whenever you were one of these Power 5 teams that were on the bubble, like Washington State was. They're not really the bubble, but as a 7 seed, you didn't quite make an entirely good case for yourself. And I feel like that's why they're going up against Drake here. Give me the Bulldogs. Drake, they've not really had too much luck whenever talking about going into March Madness historically. But Tucker DeVries, he's finally a senior. It's going to be his last game with his dad. I don't know if he can come back for another year. I'm not entirely sure the NCAA rules. But at the end of the day, I feel like Drake's going to make a statement here in this game. Their offense is just too good. Yes, Washington State, they do have a pretty good defense, but I don't think that they've seen anyone like Drake this year.
Yeah, Trey, will you do me a favor and look up Drake's free throw percentage real quick?
Yes,
while I talk about this Wazoo team. I mean, they're top 50 in both defensive and offensive efficiency. The one problem they do have, and it's my biggest thing in these games, they shoot 70% from the charity stripe. That is not a very good percentage. The bench play is not great. The depth is a problem. I feel like I'm going to take Drake, but it's going to decide on what they shoot from the charity stripe.
76%, 46th highest in the country.
All right. We'll take Drake here. Offense beats defense in March Madness, right? That's what they say. Let's take Drake. The first upset really in this bracket, and Drake moves on. Let's go to the last game. The Cyclones just beat Houston by 47, 37? I don't even know. It was an absolute domination station going up against South Dakota State. Sorry, Jackrabbits. Iowa State's going to get you here. What do you like, Trey?
Yeah, I like Iowa State. We don't really have to talk about this game much. The Jackrabbits, I mean, they did dominate their conference, but they didn't play in the Big 12 here. So give me Iowa State.
All right, we will move on to. You want to go with this? You want to continue this region? Or you want to go to the next region?
Whichever one you prefer. It doesn't matter to me.
I think we go to the next region. We save it.
All right.
West. Let's go to the West. Let's go to the West. North Carolina going up against who I think is going to be Howard in this game between Howard and Wagner. They're like minus 30 for a reason. I'm taking North Carolina. What do you like?
Yeah, give me the Tar Heels in this game. I feel like they're going to have some trouble maybe a little bit later in the tournament, but definitely not as this 16 seed. So we're definitely going to sweep there with them. Now, this game is a game that I'm very excited to talk about.
Yeah, Mississippi State going up against Michigan State. I like Mississippi State. I know you like Mississippi State as well. But I feel like if Tom Izzo doesn't win a game in March Madness, he might retire. So I'm taking Michigan State. Sparty's role in this one.
No, they do not. I
Yes,
do
they
not
do.
understand how Michigan State got a 9 seed. They were not good this year. Yes, they
Whoa,
beat
whoa,
up the
whoa,
teams that they
whoa.
were supposed to beat up, but you can see versus top 25, 2-7. In the big games, they got dominated. That's what I remember throughout this season. Oh my gosh, Michigan State plus the points, they're going to dominate here. No, they got slobber knocked. And whenever they were going up against Rutgers, whenever they were going up against other bad teams in the Big Ten, they were able to show their strength, not here against SEC, not against Tolu Smith, not against Josh Hubbard. Give me Mississippi State. I think it's going to be a pretty convincing win here for the Bulldogs.
They can't make the three. They're very bad on the 3-point shot. Michigan State makes their threes.
Well, if everyone made if the only thing that mattered was 3-pointer shots, then it wouldn't matter. But
that's why I took BYU.
BYU is a lot better team.
No, they're not. They're really not.
I think that Mississippi State's going to dominate this game. Tolu Smith is just too massive of a human being. Josh Hubbard, he is a pure scorer. Yes, he doesn't really drain the threes all that too often, but he's more of a thrasher, and I think he's going to make his presence felt.
Okay, so we'll split. Rob, who do you like? He says Mississippi State's been playing great ball lately. We need an answer, though, Rob. Mississippi State or Michigan State? Reminder, Michigan State, they don't lose in March.
They do. How many national championships has Tom Izzo won?
Did Michigan State win the first round last year? They did. Did they win the second round? They did.
What does it matter about first?
That team was worse than this team.
Mississippi State.
All right, whatever. I want it in the notes app. I want it in the notes app. I said Michigan State for this one. All right, let's move on. 5 versus 12. This could be one of the 12 seeds that beats a 5 seed because St. Mary's, their offense isn't great. Their defense is fantastic. Grand Canyon, they love to run. Their offense is great. Who do you like in this one?
This game is polar opposites. I'm very excited to see which style of play is going to win. Grand Canyon beat up their conference so bad that by the end of it, their opponents were throwing the basketballs at them. And St. Mary's, yes, they play in a lot tougher conference, and their defense was showing up throughout this season. They kind of stumbled out of the gates, but ever since Christmas, no team has really been able to get ahead of St. Mary's, and I'm going to go with St. Mary's here. I love Grand Canyon. I feel like this is going to be a very close game. I don't know what the spread is here, but I'd probably take Grand Canyon plus the points. But just straight up, I'm taking St. Mary's.
Yeah, I will say in my personal bracket and in the one that we do with all of our friends, I have Grand Canyon advancing here, but for the sake of the channel and for the sake of this bracket not busting, I think St. Mary's is the play here as well. So we will take St. Mary's, the 5 seed, moving on. Now let's go to the 4 versus 13 seed. My Alabama Crimson Tide, who have lost me God knows how much money this season because they can't play defense, going up against another team who plays exactly like Alabama, and all they do is shoot 3-point shots in Charleston. I'm going to take the over in this game, but who do you like to advance?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this game. Charleston, they were the sweethearts last year, and they didn't lose too much of their team, but they did lose their best scorer, and it's kind of showed as why they've taken just a slight step back this season, still dominated their conference. But we're talking about Bama here. Hashtag Roll Tide. I'm taking Alabama to win big. I know Bears kind of been painstaken by Bama, and rightfully so, 2-7 versus top 25 teams. A couple of those whereas against Tennessee. So I feel like they're going to make sure that they don't mess around this game. Give me Bama.
13 seed advances. Charleston here. They beat Alabama. They take more threes than Alabama. Well, I shouldn't say that. They take about the same threes as Alabama. They've got size underneath that can deal with Nelson and Pringle. I think Charleston wins this game. I think they're more effective from the field. They love to push the pace just like Alabama. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be which team can make the most shots and the most shots from deep. And I'm going to take Charleston. I think this is as great value as a 13 seed. I don't know what the plus money is for them to win this game or what they are like the spread-wise, but I'm going to take Charleston in this game to advance. So somebody in the chat just say Alabama, and we will move on.
Rob White did.
Oh, all right, well, we'll take Alabama then. I think Charleston's going to win that one. But let's move on. Hopefully we're on the same page here. We better be. Clemson, who should not be in as a 6th seed, by the way, going up against New Mexico, who's rated the 22nd best team in the entire nation as the 11th seed. I'm taking the Lobos. What do you like?
I feel like everybody's picking New Mexico, that it makes me not want to. I do love PJ Hall. I feel like he's kind of underrated, and I feel like Clemson, they were just towards the bottom of the top tiers in the ACC, but they were definitely one of the better teams in the ACC this year. New Mexico, the Mountain West is kind of being disrespected. I feel like they had a great season as a whole, or at least towards the top end of their conference. And I feel like that's what is going to prepare them for this game. Give me New Mexico. I'm going to side with Bear. I don't want to break his heart. Don't want to send him down a dark path. Give me the Lobos here as well, Bear. But I do think it's going to be a good game. I think that game might be one of the most underrated games of the slate.
They shoot better. They play at a faster tempo. They force more turnovers than Clemson. They play better defense than Clemson. This, I think New Mexico State's going to rout Clemson, who should not even be in the bracket. All right, we're going to move on before I get emotional. Let's go to Baylor going up against Colgate. This was another team that I picked. I picked Colgate in the friend bracket, but we got to take Baylor here, right?
Yeah, I feel like we do have to take Baylor, but I'm a little bit worried. They're kind of a young team. Their top scorer is a true freshman, so we always have to be wary of that going into such high-pressure situations like March Madness. And Colgate, they are a very veteran-laden team. And, yes, they did dominate the Patriot League, but Patriot League's not anything to write home about. So there's something in the back of my head wanting to pick Colgate here. I do feel like Baylor historically has not shown up in the first round and has kind of gotten looked past these big higher seeds and kind of came back to bite them. So maybe if you're looking for a money line shot in the dark, take it on Colgate. But I do have to take Baylor here. I can't disrespect Ray J. Dennis.
Who did Baylor lose to as a high seed? Maybe it was a while ago, but they lost to 12 seed Yale in 2015. Is that right?
Yeah, whenever Torian Prince was on there, I saw that. Last year they lost to Creighton, it looks like. So yeah.
Beat. Yeah, lost. No, that's number one. Yeah, lost to Yale in 2015. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Baylor's one of those teams kind of like they're a big seed always, and then they always find a way to lose. But I don't know. Not Ray J. Dennis. I love him. He's going to get the job done there. All right, let's move on to Dayton against Nevada. The 7 versus 10 matchup. I'm going to have you start here because this is a true coin flip to me.
Yeah, I got to talk about Steve Gins. Isn't Colgate a toothpaste? That actually made me laugh. Good one. Shout out to everyone for joining in tonight, and we definitely appreciate it. And make sure to join our groups. We got a free group, Bears Profit Plays, on our March Madness, and we also got a members only. If you are a member, make sure to go check out our member videos, and we'll tell you how to join that one here soon. So look out for that. But going back to the bracket, I am very excited to watch this game. This is probably two of the better mid-major programs, at least throughout this season. Dayton, they were very good throughout this year, and Nevada, they were very good towards the middle in their non-conference and kind of was up and down during the Mountain West. But I'm going to go Dayton here. I love Deron Holmes. I feel like he's going to kind of come this game and prove a point that, yes, they didn't finish this season how they wanted to, but they're kind of still being respected with this 7 seed. So I do like the Flyers here in this game. Give me Dayton.
I'm going to take the Wolfpack, the 10 seed to advance here. So we're going to need the chat. I mean, Lucas and Blackshear, 2 really good guards. They play well together. They score great. I mean, Lucas is probably one of the best scorers in the country. I'm pretty sure he's averaging over 20 points per game. So I'm going to take the Wolfpack here. We've got Steve. We've got Rob. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, Rob? All right, we will put.
What if I told you Rob is my burner and I'm just messaging him?
He might be. I like Nevada there, but we will go with Dayton for the bracket here. Trey, let's go to the Arizona Long Beach State game. This is a great story. Isn't this the Long Beach State coach? He got fired and then they won the conference championship game and now he's playing for his job again.
Yep, and he said nobody's got it better than him, not even Jim Harbaugh.
Well, he lied, but that's okay. We're going to take Arizona here, right?
Yeah, give me Arizona. I feel like Arizona's kind of like Baylor. They kind of choke in the March Madness, but I don't think they're going to choke in this game. Sorry, Long Beach. They're going to enjoy the beach, I guess. Nothing to complain about.
All right, that region is done there. Let's go to the South. Houston against Longwood. Funny name, Longwood. Houston's going to win by 42, 72 to whatever, 42, 40 something. Yeah, go ahead. Houston.
Yeah, I agree. I feel bad for Longwood. And I mean, they were kind of a Cinderella team, and good job. You were a Cinderella running your conference tournament. Now you get to get your butt whipped by Houston. But I guess they get to share some spotlight.
Also, Houston coming off of a 30-point loss. So good luck. Let's go to the 8 and 9 seed, Nebraska.
Houston by the distance.
That's Longwood. I don't know how long that is, but I'm sure it's long. Let's go to Nebraska against Texas A&M. Nebraska, Trey, fun fact, has never won a tournament game. Did you know that?
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to continue. My pick's Texas A&M. Sorry, Bear.
Yeah, I was going to take Texas A&M anyway. I like the way they're playing. I said this before on the member side and the free play side. Texas A&M, they're one of those teams that they've got a good enough defense that they can play in a brick fight, and they also have a good enough offense who can play in a fast-paced game. We saw that against Tennessee and Kentucky this season. They won both those games by different ways. I like Texas A&M here. I think they're going to roll, so we'll go Texas A&M there. And I also think Texas A&M might give Houston a run for their money, but we'll talk about them a little bit. Let's go to the 5-12 matchup here. Devastating news here because I love both these teams. Wisconsin, the Badgers, getting a bad draw again. Actually, James Madison got the bad draw because they should not have been a 12 seed. They should have been higher. Who do you like here? I feel like it's you go ahead.
I don't understand how Wisconsin got a 5 seed.
I don't either, really. But
they're
James
not
Madison
good.
should not have been a 12.
I mean, they're all right, but I mean, they were 11-9 in the Big Ten. They were not good. I remember throughout this year, up and down, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. No consistency. And here you go. You get a 5 seed. Does not make any sense. Give me James Madison here. I feel like they just put Wisconsin up on a T-ball, and then the Dukes are just going to crank a home run. Their offense is just outrageous. They're going to be able to outscore Wisconsin. Yes, Wisconsin was able to score some in the Big Ten Conference tournament, but I think their butthole is going to be a little bit more tight in March Madness, and the Dukes have nothing to lose. Give me James Madison.
The March Madness in me wants to take the 12 seed, but I think Wisconsin can bully ball them a little bit down low. So, also Wisconsin.
What about the three-pointer?
I mean, Wisconsin hit threes. They hit 15 in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. I think they hit double digit in the second round as well. Wisconsin showed me something, Trey. They really did. The offense really picked it up in that Big Ten. They had a shot to beat Illinois. I mean, JMU, they're a great team. I'm going to take the Badgers here. It should be a close game. I think the size down low. I think they're just going to play some bully ball with them. But I'll take Wisconsin. You take JMU. Someone in the chat.
Not so fast.
Oh, wait. Are we just going off of anybody now who says your team?
No, the first one.
All right. That's fine.
Shout out.
I like the Dukes anyway. I like James Madison.
Hey,
anyway.
Make sure you get quick fingers in the chat. First come, first serve.
I don't know about that game. It's going to be a great game to watch. Should be a fun watch there. Let's go to the 4 versus 13 seed, Duke and Vermont. 4 versus 13. I'm going to take Duke. I watched Vermont play a couple times. Their defense is good. The offense is not good. Duke's one of the better teams both ways, so I'm taking Duke.
Yeah, I'm going to take Vermont, Bear. I bet that one Vermont game you lost was that one conference loss. And Vermont, they dominated their conference. And that's what they've done historically. Over the last 5 years, they have literally just been dog walking their conference and just making repeat performances here in March Madness. And I feel like this might be the year. Duke, they are overrated at this 4 seed. They were not very inspiring to me this year. Their offense was not very good outside of Jeremy Roach and Kyle Filipowski. And I just don't have very much confidence in them here, especially John Shire. I don't really like him that much. I feel like he's part of the reason why Duke is not what Duke has been with Mike Krzyzewski. Yes, we expected a downfall, but it's just not looked the same. Give me Vermont here. Call me crazy.
All right, someone put Duke in. There we go. Rob did it.
Oh, come on.
Thanks, Rob. Okay, so I got to figure out how to unban someone. Let's go to the next game.
Wait, just ban someone?
Yeah, Cam. That one time he said the Dallas quote or the Dallas comment, and I can't figure out how to unban him. But let's go to the 6 versus 11 seed here. Texas Tech going up against NC State. NC State, they made a magical run. They beat North Carolina. NC State looked like the best team in college basketball over this 5-6 span of games. But I'm going to take the Red Raiders here to beat NC State. Trey, what do you like?
Is DJ Burns going to have good conditioning in this game? I feel like that's all that matters. If DJ Burns can stay up on his feet and play consistent defense and elite offense like he was doing throughout this entire season, at least towards the middle and conference tournament, he was just an absolute monster. I've not really been inspired from Texas Tech. I've watched a handful of their games.
I haven't either.
And I really don't understand what is so great about them. Outside of Pop Isaacs, there's nobody really to note on that Red Raiders team. So I'm going to go with NC State here. I'm sorry, Bear, another split. But I do feel like DJ Burns, he's going to be able to bully ball. And I feel like there's not really anyone who can stop him. If DJ Burns stays out of foul trouble and can play throughout this game, I really love NC State.
And I'm pretty sure NC State in the conference tournament, they brought DJ Horn off the bench. And I think that did wonders for them. DJ Burns, he dominated whenever he wasn't in, and then DJ Horn came in and dominated again. So Yeah, I said Texas Tech. This is kind of a coin flip game. I'll switch to NC State. If Burns is playing like he played the last 5 games, they've got a decent shot to win this one. Plus, Horn's really good. I mean, Pop Isaacs is all Texas Tech really has. They don't have a ton of size, so we will take bully ball NC State to advance the 11th seed. Now let's move on to.
And there we got him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Cambo.
Yeah, there's always loopholes in this world. Everybody remember that. You're not down until your last account's banned. Let's go to Kentucky against Oakland. Kentucky's the 3 seed, Oakland the 14 seed. Can Kentucky play defense in this in the March Madness? That's going to be the storyline the entire time because everybody knows they can play offense. I'm going to take Kentucky in the first round.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, their defense can be as Swiss cheese as it wants in this game, and I would still take them. Kentucky, I feel like their team's kind of made for March. They've kind of just been able to get by until they get to this point, and now they're just going to pour on the points. And I don't know if Oakland can keep up. So give me Kentucky here.
All right, we'll sweep that one. Let's go to Florida. Feel bad for Florida. Their big man, devastating injury. Hard to come back from that. I've only seen Paul George come back from an injury like that. He's not going to be playing this game. He snapped his leg in half. He's going to be going up against Boise State or Colorado. Let's talk about the Boise State-Colorado game first. Who do you think is going to win that one? I think Colorado.
I mean, that's going to be a very good game to watch. Like I've been saying, the Mountain West is underrated. A lot of people haven't been watching, but as you can see, I'm a small college connoisseur. I've been keeping my eyes on the Mountain West Conference throughout this year, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be taking Colorado, and rightfully so. KJ Simpson, he is an elite walking bucket. But outside of Simpson, I'm not really sure what they can offer. I know they have De Silva, who has been very good in the painted area. So, yeah, I guess I'd go with Colorado with you.
Okay, so now let's talk about the Florida-Colorado game. I'm taking Colorado to beat Florida. What do you like?
He said if my vote still counts, I want Michigan State. Shut up, Cam. They're bad.
Are we taking that? Does that count?
No, sorry. Okay, first come, first serve. I don't know.
I'm going to take the winner. I'm going to take the 10 seed, the winner of the Boise State-Colorado game.
Same. I agree. I think Florida is dead. I feel bad for him. I mean, they were having a very good season. I love Walter Clayton. I feel so bad for him. He transferred there for hopes of this moment. And he's here, and he can still put the team on his back. That's what he's been doing all season long. But at the end of the day, I got to go with Colorado or Boise State. I would prefer Colorado, but I don't think Boise State is that bad of a team. A lot of people are overlooking them.
Trey, you like small college? What about Stetson? Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Stetson. I actually picked one of their games this year, and they did not cover for me, so maybe I'm scorned. Who knows? Yeah,
let's move on. We're both going to take the 10 seed there, a little bit of an upset. I will say, though, as well, I think I saw a stat 13 of the last 14 teams who win a play-in game also win a game in the round of 64. So maybe that's Boise and Colorado there. Let's go to the 2 versus 15. Western Kentucky, team I love in college football, not so much in college basketball, going up against Marquette. Marquette's going to stomp them. What do you like?
Hey, I bet on Western Kentucky to win the Sun Belt,
they
did. They came through for me. This is their first top 25 matchup of the season. Did the Sun Belt prepare them for this moment? I don't think so. Give me Marquette to win big, I think, unfortunately.
All right, let's go to the Midwest section now. Purdue against Grambling, or what's the other team? Middle Tennessee State?
Yep. That is Montana State.
Montana State, okay. Does it matter? Probably not, although Purdue would be the one team to lose to a 16 seed like Virginia. That would be hilarious if they lost again, but we're going to take Purdue here. Too much on the line for Purdue. They can't lose again twice, right, Trey?
Yeah, I agree. If they do, I mean,
all time. It'd be all time.
Panther better just start walking.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if they did. But yeah, we'll take Purdue here. Let's go to the 8-9 matchup. Good game here. Utah State going up against TCU. I love the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is a more competitive conference. I'm going to take TCU as the 9 seed. What do you like?
I will rinse and I will repeat. Give me the Mountain West here. I'm going to take Utah State here in this game. Great Osabor. You guys have been watching our channel. You know I love Great. He's been playing great all season long. Utah State, they have been in the top 25 legitimately all this season besides, I think, 1 week. And I feel like they're going to turn some heads in this game. TCU, yes, they were good, but they were not all that good in the Big 12. Outside of their home games, they were not very consistent, not very reliable. Newsflash, this is not a home game, so give me Utah State.
Emmanuel Miller against Osborne would be a great matchup there. Rob White siding with the TCU Horned Frogs. TCU will advance in this spot. Should be a good game, though. Let's go to Gonzaga, the 5 seed, going up against McNeese, the 12 seed. I'm going to have you start here because this isn't one of those other games that people like the upset.
Yeah, and I've been betting on McNeese all season long. They dominated the Southland Conference. There's been zero doubt in my mind that they were going to be the ones representing that conference. I've been also backers of Nichols. It was Nichols or McNeese, and McNeese ended up winning that conference championship game. So I wasn't too mad about it. And they did it off the back of their offense. Their offense has been absolutely elite level all season long. But that just allows you to overlook their defense. Their defense has been just as good. As you can see, 61 points per game allowed on the defensive end. So they can pour on the points and suffocate you. Their style is the press, turnover, score. Will they be able to do that against Gonzaga? Yes. Because, I mean, I have not liked what I've seen out of Nimhard this season, Bear. I think that he has not been able to come up in the big moments. But at the end of the day, the Zags are going to zag. Give me Gonzaga.
It would be hilarious if Gonzaga lost the first round. I can't do it. I mean, I'm going to take the Bulldogs here. Obviously, we're going with McNeese because two people already said McNeese. So my opinion doesn't really matter.
No, I went with Gonzaga.
Oh, I thought you said McNeese.
No, I said the Zags. I said, but the Zags are going to zag. Give me Gonzaga.
Oh, okay. We'll take Gonzaga then. Good. I do like Will Wade's bunch. I mean, going from LSU to McNeese must be tough, but he's done a really good job over there. So, all right, we'll take Gonzaga. I thought you were on the 12 seed there. Let's go to people going to be mad. Our friend.
Hey, just wait. I was waiting for this one, Bear. Don't you worry.
Kansas against Samford. If Dickinson and Kevin McCullough don't play, Samford's going to dominate Kansas in this game. So we're going to have to wait and see if those players are playing. But for right now, if those players are not playing, the 13 seed is going to win this game very easily. What do you like?
I can't remember the exact stat. I think it was, listening to it on the radio this morning. We are both from the Midwest, so I personally got KU Talk Radio this morning. Unfortunately, because I'm a K-State fan, they were saying something along the lines of, over the last month of the season, KU had the second lowest three-point percentage out of all the teams in the country.
They're horrible.
The only team that was below them, Bears' favorite team, Mississippi Valley State. So put them on upset alert. Give me Samford here because, like Bear said earlier, it all depends on the three-pointers, and that's what Samford does. Samford's just like McNeese. Press, turnover, score. They try to score triple digits every game. As you can see, they averaged 86 points per game. Give me Samford here, upset alert. Boo KU.
Plus, they're top 20 in turnovers per game on the defensive side of the ball. They allow 39 shooting percentage on the other side. I don't know. I mean, I've been saying KU's been bad all season long, but can Bill Self really lose in the first round? I might have to take Kansas just off of Bill Self's name alone.
I mean, if it was off Bill Self's name, they would have won the Big 12 conference tournament.
No. They didn't have Kevin and Dickinson. If they don't play, I'm taking Samford. Let's just take Samford.
I mean, you can't say Dickinson might not play. He had dislocated shoulder like a week ago. Even if he plays, it's going to be very limited. It was
against Houston, wasn't it?
I don't no. I think it was during the conference tournament. I could be wrong, but I think it was during conference tournament.
I think Hunter Dickinson got hurt in the Houston game.
I mean, regardless, he would be limited. McCullough has not looked healthy throughout this season. UKU fans like to say he'll come back. Whatever happened with Jalen Daniels? He was always supposed to come back. My back hurts. Never did. And I don't think they will. KU likes to play little mysteries on the injury report. And it's going to happen again here.
Fine. All right, we'll take the 13 seed. Why not? Why not them? Let's go on here. Oh, I lost everything. Hold on.
South Carolina versus Oregon.
Let me get back to it. All right, here we go. 6 versus 11. Sorry, 6 versus 11. South Carolina going up against Oregon. I'm going to have you start because I really don't like either of these teams.
Yeah, this is a classic matchup of this team doesn't deserve to be here. Just got lucky. Give me South Carolina here. I think they're going to win against Oregon. Oregon has not been very inspiring for me this season. They were kind of consistent, at least through the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 wasn't anything to write home about, especially comparing that to the SEC. South Carolina, they dominated their non-conference, stumbled at the start in the SEC, got their feet underneath them, finished the season strong, and I expect that here. Give me South Carolina.
I'm going to take Oregon. They dominate the paint, so I'm going to take Oregon over South Carolina. South Carolina plays really good defense, but I mean, these teams, it's another coin flip game. I'd rather have the 11 seed advance than the 6 seed. So
how can you trade someone with the name Meechie Johnson?
Michi Johnson. I mean, I gotta fade him. I'm the guy that said South Carolina was frauds like 4 weeks ago, and then they rattled off 3 consecutive wins. So they've been on my bad side since then. So I'm gonna go Oregon here. And Rob White says, "Screw you, Bear. We're going South Carolina." All right, we will let South Carolina advance to play the winner of Creighton going up against Akron. My only MAC team in this tournament, Trey. Don't you dare take Creighton. I'm taking Akron for the upset here. Ali Freeman, the best rebounder in the nation, going up against Cockbrenner. He's tall, he's lanky, he's not got the beef to fight with Freeman down low. Give me Akron. They were here because Kent State did the most MAC thing possible and fouled up 1 point in that last game, and that's how they're going to make the run. Give me Akron, the 14th seed, to advance.
This is tough, Bear, because
do it.
I do agree. Enrique Freeman is going to be a massive human being. I think that he had the most double-doubles in college basketball this season. And
every game but one, I think.
Yeah, and rightfully so. The guy has been a consistent contributor every single game. So we have to pencil him in there for 10 points, 10 rebounds at the very least. And Ali, he is great as well. Akron, they don't deserve to be here, but look, they are here. So I have to side with Bear. MAC is special here. Good. Give me Akron. Good. I have to. Good. The MAC. They have the MAC special already going here with their conference tournament win. I mean, the chaos is just going to continue in March.
Yes, they should not be here, and that's why they're going to win this game against Creighton. Also, Creighton is like one of my favorite teams to win it all this season, so it's perfect that Akron got Creighton in the first game, and it's going to be just pure chaos. What about Baylor Shireman? What about all of the guards that Creighton has? What about all 3 of them? I think they're all averaging 17 points per game. They've got Cockbrenner down low. Yeah, I know how good Creighton is, but I don't know. I feel like Akron might be able to muck this game up, make it interesting. We're going to take Akron. Let's move on. I feel like we might get some hate for that one, but Akron's going to advance. Let's go to Texas going up against the winner of Virginia and Colorado State. We just recorded that Virginia-Colorado State. If you guys are interested, go watch that video tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel. Trey, I'm going to take Texas to advance. What do you like?
Not so fast. I'm going to go with the Virginia and Colorado State. Bear, you hate it. You absolutely hate it. But I do believe that Virginia is going to win that game. I feel like Tony Bennett's going to have something special going. He is going to have something up his sleeve. And they're battle-tested. They are seasoned for this. Virginia knows what to do in March Madness. I'm not so sure that Texas does. They get sensitive whenever people throw down the horns down in Big 12 play. Wait till everyone does it in March Madness. They're going to crumble. Give me the 10.
All right, Texas is moving on because of Rob White. Thank you, Rob, in the comment section there. Let's go to St. Peter's, the darling, a couple years ago, going up against Tennessee, the 2 seed. Again, Rick Barnes in March. Maybe a little bit of chaos here, but I don't think so. Give me Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree here. Give me Tennessee. I feel like they're going to dominate. Don't Connect might outscore St. Peter's by himself. If Marist got out of the MAC conference, I feel like I would have been picking Marist here. But alas, they did not. So give me Tennessee.
How many points do you think Marist could score on Tennessee?
Hey, I feel like Marist could hold Tennessee to a low number.
Okay, but I don't realistically, realistically, how many despite Marist defense, how many points do you think they could score?
Marist would probably finish that game with 38 points.
Okay. All right. I was going to say in the 30s, so I'm glad you said somewhere in the 30s. All right. Let's move on to the round of 32 here. Going back up to the East. UConn against FAU. Nobody's stopping UConn. Give me the UConn Huskies.
Yeah, this game's tough. I mean, I do love UConn. Me and Bear has been saying all season long, UConn is head and shoulders the best team. So I can't fade away from that now. Give me UConn as well.
Wait, did we have Northwestern going there? Did we get Northwestern?
Yeah, Northwestern got in there. Rob White said Northwestern.
All right, good. All right, UConn advances there. Let's go to the next game, 5 versus 4. San Diego State going up against Auburn. Tough game here, but Auburn's got more offense, and they're just as good defensively, I feel like. Press plus Bruce Pearl. So give me Auburn.
Jaden Leedy going up against Johnny Brome. Man, I'm going to be all over this game, especially with both teams being great defensive teams. I think this game's going to be a fist fight, especially down in the painted area. Give me – I have to agree with Bear. Give me Auburn. I feel like Bruce Pearl is going to have something special. His dad just passed away. I feel like him and his players are going to have a purpose. So I agree. Give me Auburn.
All right, let's keep on moving. The 6 versus the 3 seed. I think didn't BYU play Duquesne? Duquesne might give him trouble,
Yep.
but let's go BYU and Illinois here. I'm gonna take Illinois. I think BYU's luck runs out here. If they don't hit their threes, they're not a very good team. Illinois, they can score 80+ points with the best of them. So I'm gonna take Illinois. And I know you're gonna take BYU.
Give me BYU. I'm going to take the Fighting Cougs here in this game. I feel like they're a lot more balanced than what this Illinois team is, and I feel like that's going to be what Illinois' problem is. BYU, their defense is very good, probably one of the better defenses that Illinois will be playing this season. And then as I'm talking, Rob White just drives a stake through my heart, trying my best to convince the chat. Doesn't matter.
No,
Rob White going with Illinois, so I guess that's an advantage.
I didn't forget what you did for me with Akron, so I'll switch to BYU for you. I know that they're your darling. Illinois, they're streaky also. They are playing good basketball, but BYU's a good team. We'll take BYU to advance. I'm fine with that.
Good. I needed them to make at least a Sweet 16.
Okay. All right. I'm happy for you. Let's go here to Drake versus Iowa State, the 10 versus 2. I think the Cyclones keep rolling. What do you like?
I mean, this is going to be a kind of regional match here as well. Drake going up against Iowa State. Both these teams are based out of Iowa. Obviously, Iowa State is, but so is Drake. So I feel like these two teams are going to be very excited to play each other if this matchup does end up happening. Call me crazy. I'm going with Drake in this game. We've seen it in the past. The little brothers show up here to scorn the big brothers. I think a lot of people are kind of being overshadowed about what happened in that Big 12 Conference Championship game. Yes, Iowa State is a very good team, but they're not a beat Houston by 30, 40 points team. That game should have been a lot more competitive. So I'm going to go with Drake here in this game. I feel like they're going to show up here and they're going to have something to prove.
Looks like we're going with Iowa State, though.
God. Rob, you were on my side so early.
Sorry for you. 2-seed advances, a little bit of chalk there, but his Cinderella's just used BYU's got to be right.
Is Drake your Cinderella this year? Yeah, I do like BYU if you want to count them as a Cinderella. And then I also like McNeese, actually, even though I did pick Gonzaga. I do feel like if they get past Gonzaga, they could have a pretty good run in front of them.
All right, let's go to the West region here in the round of 32. North Carolina, the 1 seed going up against. Did we take Michigan State, the 9? Did we take?
We took Mississippi State.
Right. I'm taking UNC. I'm taking UNC, the 1 seed.
I feel like this game is going to be a very good game. Both teams, they're very similar. Armando Bacot versus Tolu Smith. RJ Davis versus Josh Hubbard. Which duo is going to win? Obviously, a lot of people are going to be going with North Carolina. I'm going to be going with Mississippi State here.
No.
I'm hoping that someone's going to be backing me in the comments, and Rob White immediately drives a steak knife through my heart. But at the end of the day, I do feel like this Mississippi State team does have a great chance to make a good run. But alas, in our bracket, it ends in the round of 32.
Yeah, let's move on here to the 5 versus 4 seed. This is a great game. Strength for strength here. St. Mary's defense against the Alabama offense, although I think Charleston will be playing St. Mary's. I'm going to take Alabama. I think Alabama, well, I wanted to take Charleston, but for the sake of the video, Alabama is going to win this game. I mean, St. Mary's defense is great, but I mean, Alabama can score 100 points, and against St. Mary's defense, they might be able to put up 80. So I don't think St. Mary's can keep up. I'm going to take Alabama.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Tide here as well. I love Aiden Mahaney, but at the end of the day, he's like 6'1". I don't even know if he's 6 foot. I don't think he's going to be able to get much against this Alabama length. And yes, their defense is elite in St. Mary's, but like Bear just said, Alabama's offense is just as elite. So give me the Roll Tide here. We're both going to sweep with that one. I'm excited to see what you think about this one.
Yeah, the 11 against 3 seed, New Mexico Lobos going up against Baylor. I'm taking the 11 seed, and I'm going to take them more than this game, Trey. They're going to beat Baylor here. Again, top 10 in adjusted tempo. They push the ball. They're top 20 in offensive turnovers per game. They shoot the ball well. They play good defense. They push the pace. They force turnovers. They're the 22nd rated team in the nation, according to KenPom. I love the Lobos here. They're going to win this game. What do you like?
Man, I do love New Mexico. Like I said earlier, I love what they're doing. Baylor, they are a very good team. They've been very consistent throughout this year. Give me the Lobos. Give me New Mexico here. I'm going to take them as the 11 seed. I feel like they're going to march in advance here. I feel like their team is very good. They got House, they got Mashburn, and they got a few other dogs on their team. So give me New Mexico.
All right, we will take New Mexico. Thank you for that. Let's go over to this Arizona game. Dayton against Arizona, 7-2. Really tight game here. Dayton defensively really good. Arizona, a surprise good defensive team. I feel like they don't play great defense, but according to Ken Baum, they're top 25 in defensive efficiency. I'm going to have you start.
Dang, this ESPN stat, since 2015, number 2 seeds are 8-9 versus number 7 seeds. So maybe we need to take note of that in the later matchups because I don't think that applies here. Give me Arizona to win this game.
Hey, Trey.
Yes.
Did USC beat Arizona?
They did.
Is USC in the bracket?
They did not.
I'm taking Dayton. I'm taking Dayton in this game against Arizona. I've said this for months. I've not been impressed with Arizona. Caleb Love can only do so much. If he's not scoring, that's it. I mean, they've got it. I mean, they've got a pretty good offense. They've got a big boy down low in Balo. But Arizona, they've been struggling against some of these teams. If you lose to USC, you've got major problems. So I'm going to take Dayton here with the defense. Rob White says Arizona, so we will take Arizona. But I would not be surprised at all if Arizona gets bounced on the round of 32. Let's move on to the South region. Houston going up against Texas A&M. Again, Texas A&M, they can play this kind of basketball. They can play good defense, and they can play in like 55 to 57 games. I'm going to have you start, though, because I'm not going to be the one to take Texas A&M first.
I mean, I feel like Texas A&M is a great team to pick right here. As you can see in the top players, Wade Taylor is an absolute dog for what Texas A&M has to offer. Radford, he's a great Robin, but the player that is not there is their center who anchors what they're trying to do down in the painted area. And I feel like he is going to be the reason why Texas A&M is going to keep this game competitive, but I don't think they're going to win this game. Give me Houston to advance. I'm sorry, Bear.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a great story, but yeah, Houston, they're just so good. I just feel like Houston's going to come out and kill everybody since they lost by 30 in the conference championship game. So we'll take Houston here to advance, probably pretty easily against Texas A&M. Let's go to that 5 versus 4 seed bracket here. This is going to be a fantastic game. Wisconsin against Duke, rematch.
No, James Madison won, bruh.
Well, we brought James Madison.
We brought the Dukes. We brought the Dukes.
Did you
I convinced you?
Oh, you got no. I think you got that from the chat. I had Wisconsin moving on.
Maybe.
All right, so we'll go JMU against Duke. This makes it a lot easier for me. I'm taking Duke. Go ahead.
What?
I'm not taking James Madison here. No, don't do it.
Yeah, because look, Dennis Caldwell was on my side with James Madison. Look at him.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm taking don't put
God.
the Dukes in the Sweet 16. Just don't do it.
Why do you like Duke so much?
They're top 25 in offense and top 25 in defense efficiency. I mean, since whatever it was, 18 straight years, you've got to be in that category to make the Sweet 16 or the finals, whatever it was. So Duke's going to win this game.
All right, give me Duke begrudgingly, even though I don't think they're even going to win.
Even if it was Wisconsin, I would take Duke, if that makes you feel better.
No, because Duke sucks.
How?
Because they're overrated. They do everything all right. But Bear, have you watched a Duke game this year and walked away impressed with what you saw?
Whenever the acting job from Kyle Filipowski was incredible, I thought he needed an Oscar for that performance. So yes, I have.
I hate you. All right, moving on to this NC State versus Kentucky game.
Yeah, NC State. This is where it ends. Hopefully you agree. I'm taking Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kentucky here as well. I love Antonio Reeves. Bear, you might hold on to that ticket. Give me Kentucky.
Yeah, plus 1,400. Got a really bad number, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. I think they closed like plus 1,800 or 1,900, so it wasn't too bad of a ticket. But
Duke is better than Clemson. I mean, yeah, barely.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson shouldn't be in the tournament. Wouldn't you agree with that? Like, Clemson's bad.
I mean, I like PJ Hall. I will stand on that hill.
Yeah, PJ Hall's good. I mean, that's it though. I mean,
yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, all right. Let's go to the 10 versus 2 here. Boise State or Colorado facing off against Marquette. Shaka Smart, he's going to have Tyler Collect back. I feel like Marquette's going to make a deep run, so I'm going to take Marquette.
Do we know that he's getting Tyler Collect back?
They said that he could have played against UConn in the conference championship, but he didn't.
All right, give me Marquette. I
think
agree.
they were just being extra safe.
Hey, I agree. Marquette. Okay. Hey, look at us. We got 1 through 4, all chalk because you wouldn't let me mix in some spice.
That's a spicy meat. I don't blame me. We've got an 11 seed in there. What are you talking about? What were you gonna? Oh, you wanted to take JMU over Duke.
I wanted to take JMU.
You wanted to take JMU over Duke. I mean, no, I'm not going to let you do that. All right. Let's go to the Midwest here. Purdue against TCU. Purdue, revenge tour. Take Purdue.
Yeah, I agree. We got to go Purdue. 7-0 versus top 25. TCU is going to get ramrodded here in this game. If only Emmanuel Miller was 7'4", like
nice.
Zach Edey.
Would be really nice if he was 7'4". He'd be a monster. Let's go to 5 versus 13. Gonzaga against Samford. Do I dare take the 13 seed again? I do dare. I'm going to take the 13 seed here. Gonzaga, they are known to choke. Another choke job here is Samford. They push the pace. They love to shoot threes. They love to score. Give me Samford.
Can I take the over in this game for
You
sure?
can.
This game happens.
Go for it. Yeah.
And I'm also going to go with Samford in this game. I got to agree with Bear. I've watched a lot of Samford games this year, and I've loved what I've been seeing out of them. And I think it's going to continue here. If Samford beats KU, they're going to roll that into beating Gonzaga.
All right, finally, some action on the 13 seeds. Let's go to South Carolina against Akron, a 6 versus 14. I feel like Akron has a better matchup against Creighton. I know that sounds weird to say, but I'm going to have you start.
Give me Akron. Give me Enrique Freeman. I feel like he's going to dominate here in the painted area. Yes, South Carolina, they are a good defensive team, but they don't really have anyone who is massive, who can dominate the painted area. They have a lot of 6'7", 6'8" guys. Enrique Freeman, he's a lot bigger than that. And whenever we're talking about Ali, I feel like he's going to be able to put the team on his back as well. So give me Akron here. Upset City. You better watch out for this side of the bracket.
God, dude, I would be so happy if a MAC team made 1-2 games. That'd be incredible. Yeah, I'll go with Akron too. Let's do it. I love Akron. Just love that team. Enrique Freeman, he's so good. I mean, he's the energy in that team as well. Ali, he can hit the 3-ball. South Carolina, they struggle offensively. No doubt about it. The defense is great. But again, Akron's pretty good defensively themselves. So it should be a great game if we do get this game. I think Akron can advance. All right, let's go to the Texas versus Tennessee game. 7 versus 2. Tennessee, known to choke with Rick Barnes, but I've got to take Tennessee. They've been so good in some of these games. They've got Dalton Connect, the best player in the country probably. I'm taking Tennessee to advance.
Rick Barnes versus his old college. Both teams are going to bring the juice for this game if it does happen in the second round. And I have to believe that Dalton Connect will be backing his coach here in this game. So give me Tennessee here in this game. I feel like they're going to roll.
All right, that is the end of the round of 32. Let's go to the Sweet 16. Let's take a look at who made it. 1-4, 6-2, 1-4, 11-2, 1-4, 3-2, 1-13, 14-2. You know, that's a pretty good mix. That's a healthy mix of teams there. Where did he go? He's just dipped off the face of the earth there. Where did he go? Anyway, all right, let's move on to the Sweet 16. I'm gonna ring this thing home first when Trey's gone. We're gonna have UConn against Auburn. Obviously, UConn the 1 seed. Auburn, they've got Bruce Pearl. I mean, can Bruce Pearl really beat UConn? I don't think so. I think someone from UConn's got to get hurt. They got Clingan. He's a 7-foot monster down low. I think UConn is going to advance in that game there. Trey, you were gone, but you're back now, maybe?
Yes, I had to go get my laptop charger.
Okay, all right. I have picked UConn against Auburn. Do you like UConn against Auburn?
God, I mean, I'm so excited for this Sweet 16. This is going to be an entertaining game. I mean, both these teams, they definitely bring the defense, but only one team just brings the pain, and that's the UConn here. So I got to go with UConn.
All right, we will take UConn there in the first game of Sweet 16. I don't know if anybody can give UConn a run, but maybe one of these teams, BYU and Iowa State, the 6 seed versus the 2 seed. I'm gonna have to do it to you, Trey. I can't take BYU one more time. I'm sorry, man. I just can't. Although it is a Big 12 matchup, it's a Big 12 matchup here. Talk me into it. You talk me into it.
Hey, these two teams played each at each other's respected homes. Whenever it was at Iowa State, they won by 5. Whenever it was at BYU, they won by 15. Like I said, a lot of people's eyes are getting washed with what they have seen this year. BYU, they've averaged almost 7 more points per game than what we've seen from Iowa State this year, while only allowing a little bit more than 8. So I do feel like this game's going to be very close. I love what I've seen out of BYU this year. You know why? Their top scorer is their 6th man. They can attack you throughout the game whenever their bench comes in. That's whenever you need to tucker up. So give me BYU here. Hopefully someone in the chat backs me up. Let's go, Rob White. I need you.
Well, what about me? I could take him.
I know you're not.
To beat Iowa State, you got to hit your threes and you got to play good defense because Iowa State offensively, they're not the best team in the world. BYU, they can hit their threes. I will give them that. So we'll take BYU here to advance. BYU beats Iowa State. I'm also going to go back to this Auburn game. Did Auburn win the SEC? They did not, right? The conference?
They did.
They
won the conference tournament. That's why everyone's saying UConn got screwed. They got the Big Ten conference champion. They got the SEC conference champion, and they got the Big 12 conference champion all in their bracket.
Damn, and they really should have had 4 with North Carolina. That's wild. Wow. Okay, BYU against UConn, the Elite Eight for the first matchup. Let's go to this 1 versus 4. North Carolina against Alabama. Man, give me North Carolina. They can score just as well as Alabama, and they play defense. I'm going to take North Carolina.
There's a reason why everyone's wanting to give Hubie Davis Coach of the Year, because this team outperformed what they were supposed to do, and I don't think they're going to outperform Alabama in this game. Give me the Alabama Crimson Tide here in this game. I feel like they're going to be playing very good here in March Madness. Their coach just got a contract extension right before this tournament started, so I feel like he's going to be feeling calm, cool, and collected. Therefore, his players are going to be confident as well. So give me Alabama here.
Nothing but the roll tide. We got UNC.
Rob White backed you up.
North Carolina advances. I hate taking chalk, but I said it like the second or third week of college basketball. There's like a couple good teams, and the rest is just like mid. So I think North Carolina one of the better teams in the country. So like North Carolina there. Let's go to this 11 versus 2 matchup. Arizona, who I don't think will be here, going up against New Mexico. New Mexico is my darling, Trey, this year. They're going to make it to the Elite Eight, and then they're going to fall. I just need one more. I just need you to believe in me one more time for New Mexico. And by the way, if they lose against Clemson, I'm shutting down my bracket. I'm going to burn it, and I might not even watch any March Madness the rest of the year. So go ahead.
I'll back you. You got my BYU Cougs in there, so okay. I'll back you here. And I can see an avenue where New Mexico does beat Arizona, so it's not even out of the realms of possibility because we've seen New Mexico pour on the points on teams this season. In Arizona, we've seen them allow a ton of points. Like Bear just said last time, my USC Trojans actually got a recent win against Arizona. So I feel like New Mexico, they're going to be able to come in this game, sneak out with a win against the Wildcats. You better watch out. The Lobos love to eat Wildcats.
Okay. Hopefully New Mexico doesn't lose in the first round because I'll be devastated if that happens. So they make it to the Elite Eight. Let's go to this Houston
What's
against
all this Clemson freaking slander about? Why does everyone hate on Clemson?
I just don't see what you see in this team. I mean, they got PJ. All that's it. The ACC was horrible this year. I don't see the Clemson. I can see Clemson getting in, but a 6 seed, that's ridiculous, I feel like. Let's go to, is it the Houston-Duke game now?
Yes, and you better not be picking Duke, dude.
Well, no, I would never. I'm going to take Houston. Again, Houston's upset that they didn't win the Big 12. They're going to win this game. So I'm going to take Houston. And you think it's going to be JMU, so even better.
Yeah, I think Houston's going to win this game. I think regardless, they're going to make it to the Elite Eight. Whenever we're looking at this top half of the bracket, I feel like they have a leg and head above everyone else. If Duke is their hardest competition, they're not sweating it. So give me Houston.
All right, let's move on. Kentucky against Marquette, the 3 versus 2 seed. I love Kentucky. I've got a future on Kentucky. I want them to win the whole thing. They lose this game against Marquette. I'm taking Marquette.
No, you got to go with Kentucky here, Bear. No. If Tyler Kolek comes back here, that'll obviously add a new wrinkle. But I think regardless, Marquette was going to be able to score points on Kentucky. So adding Tyler Kolek, I feel like is not going to make that big of a difference to what this outcome could have been. And that's not going to make too much of an impact on Marquette's defense either. So give me Kentucky here. I feel like they're going to be able to score a ton of points in this game. By the point in time of the Sweet 16, they're going to have some momentum behind them, and especially on their offensive end. And nobody, and I mean nobody's going to want to play Kentucky.
I won't budge. So you're going to need
Dennis Burns coming
Dennis,
in.
Come on, Dennis. All right, you can have Kentucky. Better for me anyway, right? I can win a future. That'd be fantastic. All right, last 2 games in the Midwest Conference of Sweet 16. Purdue against our darling again, the Samford team, 13 seed. They haven't faced Zach Edey, and that's going to be a problem in this game. Purdue can slow it down. Samford's going to want to play with high pace. They hit a ton of threes. Purdue in the offseason, they made sure that they had perimeter shooters this time around in March Madness. They've got them. Purdue's going to win this game, unfortunately. Trey?
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, they will win this game. But I do feel like if Samford is here going up against Purdue, Purdue's not going to want to face this team. Samford, they are exactly the team that Purdue has lost historically against, teams that just pressure you throughout the entire game and don't let you get out of the front court without having 3 defenders in front of your face. And yes, if they get the ball down the court, Zach Edey's going to be wide open in the painted area. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a tough, long game for them. But give me Purdue here ultimately.
Thank you for reminding me, because I have to update the list of teams who can't break a press. It's one of the biggest things in March Madness. So I'm going to make the list. I'll probably put it on Twitter. Teams who can't break a press, you should just fade that team in the March Madness tournament, because it's unbelievable what teams do in the last 2 minutes of the game in a one-possession game. They just choke these teams who can't break a press. So make sure you guys watch out for that. Let's go to this last game, Akron against Tennessee. Love Akron. I love the MAC. If they get here to be amazing, I would love to take them here again. But let's be real this time. Let's take Tennessee.
Let's be real this time, says Bear. Bear, I'm always real, all right? That's why we have
let's
2
be
votes
real
for
this time.
But yeah, I'm going to go Dalton Connect here. I feel like by the end of this tournament, he will be a top 5 NBA pick. I saw something that said Kentucky's freshman. I can't remember what his name is, but he's supposed to be the number 1 pick
Dillingham?
in the NBA draft. And I thought that was absolutely wild, Bear.
Dillingham? Yeah, he's good.
No, the white kid.
Oh, Reed Shepherd.
Yeah, Shepherd.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best point guard prospect in the NBA in like the last 50 years or something.
Maybe I haven't watched too much Kentucky, I guess.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's good. He's really good. We going with Tennessee here, is that what you said?
Yep, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. All right. We'll go with Tennessee here. Looks like a lot of chalk, if I'm going to be honest. We got a 1-6, 1-11, 1-3, 1-2. Not too bad, honestly. Not too bad at all.
Not too bad.
Let's go to the top here in the East, Elite 8. UConn versus BYU. I hate to say chalk, but I'm taking UConn. I don't think anybody beats them.
Yeah, I hate it. As much as I want to pick BYU, if they make it here, I will absolutely be ecstatic.
Stop.
But if they make it here, they run into a buzzsaw. Give me UConn, unfortunately.
Rob, what is this? David Jones is best point guard? David Jones is not a point guard, is he? He's a shooting guard or a small forward. Quickly's the point guard for Memphis.
He has the ball in his hands a ton. I guess he's
that
like
is
LeBron
true.
James.
Yeah. David Jones is the most ready player in the NBA because he doesn't play defense and he shoots the ball every possession for Memphis. So he's going to be the best NBA-ready player there. We'll take UConn here to sweep the board there. Let's go to North Carolina against New Mexico. I'm going to have you start because you're going to break my heart anyway. So
I know. I don't want to go chalk here again, but we got to go New Mexico if this is the matchup they're going. I got to go North Carolina if this is the matchup that they are going up against. I do love New Mexico, but I don't think they will have any answer for Baycott if it does get to this point. And RJ Davis is just going to be licking his chops at this backcourt that is very small. So give me North Carolina here, unfortunately. Sorry, Bear.
Yeah, I'm going to take New Mexico for my pride, but I saw the UNC there, so we would take North Carolina anyway. So I really think New Mexico can get to the Elite Eight. Can they win on an Elite Eight game? Probably not. But I really think the Lobos can make a deep run. So hopefully they get there. Hopefully they can make some madness happen, and that'd be fantastic. But we're going 1-1 seed for the Final Four there. Let's go to this Houston against Kentucky game. You kind of talked me into taking Kentucky again. There's a reason I took them for a future. What I saw was the best basketball I've ever seen whenever I took them that night. I talked about it on the members side. They're going up against Houston here, though. So I'm going to have you say what you want to say first.
If this matchup happens, this would be one of the better games of the entire tournament. A straight-up elite defense versus a straight-up elite offense. Houston allows 57 points per game on the defensive end. Kentucky almost averages 90 points per game. They're averaging almost 90 points per game. That means they could score 100 points, and then the next game they score 60, and that drops their average down to 80. They're scoring almost 90, so they're consistently pouring on the points. Give me Kentucky here. John Calipari, he's going to finally get another chip, at least whenever we're talking about this region. So give me Kentucky here in this game.
How much of a break do they have from the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8?
I'm pretty sure that it is probably 4 days. 5 days.
Is it back-to-back Sweet 16 Elite 8 and then they go Final Four later?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So the Houston defense has to play back-to-back, then they have to play back-to-back again. Do we think the legs are going to be there this late in the season for that defense to play well?
Their legs weren't there in the conference tournament.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We've got some data now against that Iowa State team. They played 4 games in a row. They didn't have it in that game. I'm going to take Kentucky as well. We'll take Kentucky here to advance to the Final Four. My future bet is still alive. Let's go to the last game. Purdue against Tennessee. Couple teams who love to choke. I'm going to take Tennessee. I love this Tennessee team. I'm going to take Tennessee. Dalton Connect against Saki. That's best basketball you're going to watch.
This is tough. I had a lot of confidence in Purdue, and then they choked in the Big Ten conference tournament against Wisconsin. So that kind of drained what I was expecting them to be ramping up for not a disappointment of a season. Maybe they wanted more rest. I don't think that's the case. I think they wanted to win, which makes it even worse. Give me Tennessee here in this game. They didn't win their tournament either, but at least they played a very tough team and kind of got outed that way in Mississippi State. So I'm going to go with Tennessee here in this game. I'm going to side with Bear. We got 2 1s and 2 and 1-3 as well, Bear.
I mean, can we get any more like chalk in people's favorite teams, people's hate, like the worst teams possible in the Final Four?
North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee. Hey,
you got North Carolina, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Like, what are we doing?
Hey,
here?
The TV channels would be salivating.
I know, right? I actually kind of hope it's not this. I want like a big seed in the Final Four, but let's do it anyway. We've got the 1v1 here in the Final Four. UConn against North Carolina. I mean, I'm just going to keep saying it. I've been saying it since day one. UConn's the best team in the country. I think they go back-to-back this year. I'm taking UConn.
Oh, man.
Unless they get injured. UConn's winning.
Yeah, I got to go with UConn here, too. Tristan Newton, he has been outstanding to watch. I did not remember him last year in UConn's run. Maybe he was there, but I don't think he played a pivotal role like he is doing for UConn this season. So I feel like UConn, they're battle-tested. Yes, they lost a handful of guys to the NBA on their team last year, but at the end of the day, it's still a pretty collective group of that team. So I feel like they're battle tested. So give me UConn here as the first team in the national championship.
Yeah, last year he played 30. Last year he played 28 minutes a game, 10, 4, and 4. This season he's got 16, 6, and 7. So yeah, he's been the difference maker for that team, obviously. All right, we'll go UConn here for the first seed. Now we got Kentucky and Tennessee. To keep my future alive, I'm taking Kentucky, Trey. This is going to be a great game. We've already seen a preview of this. Kentucky almost blew it in the end of that game a couple days before the SEC championship games. But I'm going to take Kentucky here.
At Kentucky, these two teams played twice. Yeah. At Kentucky, final score 103-92, Kentucky winning. At Tennessee, Tennessee won 85-81. So very high scoring game. Which defense is going to prevail? Tennessee historically has the better defense. I'm going to go with Kentucky here. Dalton Connect's the only guy that scares me on Tennessee. I feel like Kentucky, John Calipari, he's going to have a plan in place to shut him down or at least slow him down. Meanwhile, Kentucky, they can hit you at every different angle. So give me Kentucky here. A very good game, UConn versus Kentucky.
All right, UConn against Kentucky. It's got all the storylines you want. One seed versus 3 seed here. I'm going to have you start because I'm kind of biased towards 1 because I'd like to have a couple $1,000s in my pocket.
This stat, since 2007, the number 1 seed has won 14 of the 17 meetings versus number 3 seeds. The last number 3 seed to win a number 1 seed was in 2019. Take that for what it is. Throw all those stats out the window because it's a national championship, but there's one stat you shouldn't throw out, and that's UConn's defense. I feel like UConn, they're just a balanced team that can shut you down on the defensive end, suffocate you while just letting the air out of the ball and just putting it in the hoop on the offensive end. I feel like UConn is just going to be marching their way. If they get out of their bracket, they're going to win the national championship. They have the toughest bracket in my opinion, in March Madness. So if they make it to this point, it's going to be all she wrote. Sorry, Bear.
Yep, I'm going to agree, and I'm going to lose money on it. Maybe I'll hedge it, and that's probably the smart thing to do, betting-wise. But we're going to take UConn here to win it all. Last season, they made the magical run. I think they were, a 4 seed, maybe 3 seed, 5 seed, somewhere around there. Their win margin was double digits the entire way through. So UConn, they've been here. They know what to do. They won it last year. I think their overall margin of victory this season somewhere like 18 or 19 points per game. So this is the best team in the country, hands down. We got to take UConn. I know it's kind of chalky, but UConn, the Huskies, they're going to win this one. They're going to go back-to-back for the first time since when? Florida?
Maybe, yeah.
Florida?
I can't think of another team.
Yeah, somewhere Florida like that. But, all right, that's going to do it. UConn wins it. What team, Trey, what team do you think is coming in with the most momentum?
I think it's Illinois. Is going to come in. I mean, if we're talking about as a whole, I think it's hard to put anyone ahead of McNeese State. They dominated their entire conference. They dominated the entire conference tournament. Uh, Will Wade, he came in and said, yeah, we lost 24 games last season. We're going to win 24 games. He even almost exemplified that, going 30-plus this season. So I feel like McNeese has a lot of momentum. That's why I said Gonzaga does not want to play them. And if McNeese gets past Gonzaga, they might get past Purdue. So watch out for that.
Yeah, I personally think it's Illinois. I mean, we talk about all the time that you need a guy in this tournament, and Terrence Shannon Jr. has been the guy. I mean, he's been so good. As a team, they've been great. I think Illinois got the most momentum. Can they turn that into something? I don't know. Should be a great tournament, guys. UConn is our winner.
Say Illinois because they're going up against BYU in the second round.
I know. That's why I didn't want to say it, but I knew that hey, BYU's a buzzsaw. Illinois is going to go down to BYU. That's for sure. Guys, that's going to do it for our live show tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for watching and commenting. I had a great video here. Make sure you guys check out our videos tomorrow. We've got an NBA video and a college basketball video for the playing games tomorrow. Again, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's videos, all right? Have a good night, everybody.